Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. The market is stable at around 155. Not bad. Everything has been pretty much keeping price. Yes, the price of Dash and Litecoin, I am now actually expecting to go up because of what has been going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still having the slow transactions. Yes, SegWit, it's going to take some time. They're saying basically by the end of the year, Bitcoin should be very good. The problem right now is my feelings towards Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. Basically, I've just been scouring the internet, watching all of Roger's talk, watching just trying to not be ignorant to the situation. And basically what happened with Bitcoin, and Roger Ver was painted as the person that facilitated all this, right? And I've learning that he actually wasn't the main guy. It actually had nothing really to do with him. It was out of his control. However, he was and is one of the biggest voices in Bitcoin, and he wasn't opposed to it. He was very pro Bitcoin Cash. If you were if you were to listen, because he was saying, well, let him come out and the free market can decide. I mean, the guy's a G when it comes to words. Like, I'm the same way. If I needed to defend something, I would find any kind of way to defend it if I felt in my head that I was justified. And basically the arguments against Bitcoin is the censorship, the fact that there's not a lot of ingredients. I've been doing a lot of the research, and there are a few loons out there in the Bitcoin camp that really want to keep the blocks smaller and want high transaction fees. That is true. Yes, that is insanity. I completely disagree with that, and I am completely on board that needs to change. However, there are people, because it's not run by one guy or two guys. There's a bunch of people, and there's other people who don't want that, who want the same thing, who want cheaper transactions and faster transactions and cheaper ones. It's just that this is what happens, man. Like, it's kind of like when you run, like I said, when you run for president, it's like, it doesn't matter if you're a good president or not. The other side's going to paint the worst of you. And that's not good for either one, because it's kind of like, man, after the president's won, you kind of don't even want them in office, because it's like, you've just been hearing all this bad shit about him for the last 4 or 5 months. And it's just the same thing with Bitcoin. It's just like, it's really annoying because we're in our infancy right now, and people are just taking this shit for granted. Like, it's just kind of like putting too much weight on a table, and you just had this table your whole life. I actually wrote an analogy about this on Quora with friendship, but it's basically like you have this trusty table, right? And you've used it your whole life, and it's always been good. And you just keep loading it up with crap. You just keep putting heavy objects on it because, you're taking it for granted. You just figure it can always hold it. And then one day you put, something, and then it cracks and breaks, and then there you go. And that's kind of like Bitcoin. People are just taking their shots. People are taking it for granted that it just keeps on going up. Yet, people aren't really, the people who are invested in it aren't really spreading awareness like they probably should. And there's a lot of people who are just going around saying that it's a scam and just stupid shit for no reason, really. There's always those people. It doesn't, it's just crazy. It's like, there's always those people, no matter what. And then you have all of this fork bullshit, and it's basically like Bitcoin Cash. So, okay, what was the problems? They say Bitcoin is censored and that some of the people want big, smaller blocks and high fees, but that's not all of the people. And when I get back to the presidential debate, it's basically like they're smearing it, making it like that's everyone. Like the whole crew wants to pay hundreds of dollars in fees and have very slow transactions, and that's just not the case. And so the big thing is censorship too. They're trying to say in the Reddit form to censor. However, with Bitcoin Cash, it's like there's still a trust, no matter what. So that's the kind of thing. When I'm looking at a coin, I kind of look at it when people say, "Oh, please don't dump, please don't dump." I don't ever get my life when I have to trust strangers, when I have to trust somebody, right? I'm a realist, and I'm like, man, there's probably going to be some trust ish involved a little bit no matter what, right? Because what happened, I mean, you can say, okay, Bitcoin Cash, but dude, Bitcoin fucking Cash can become centralized. Who are we trusting? We're trusting the people up top to never ever become centralized? I mean, that's stupid, right? You can't do that. I don't live life that way. I'm not going to say, well, Bitcoin censors and Bitcoin Cash, the people up there are really high and mighty and they're cool and they're never going to censor you, right? So give them all your power and give them all the money. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It's just bullshit. I mean, let's call it for what it is. Like, dude, I got respect for the dudes. Not all of them, but I mean, it's like, let's call it what the fuck it was. It was a money grab, dude. Like, you fucking saw an opportunity to make a shit ton of money with a split. Let's just be fucking real. That's what it was. It's not about, you can't say, oh, because of censorship, because now we're trusting you. And and then what? And then guess what I'm hearing? I'm hearing Bitcoin Cash's forums are censoring. Because they're downvoting, and it's like, well, that's pretty much the same thing. If people just downvote it to oblivion, nobody's going to go all the way to the bottom. It's just so it's like you're getting the same thing. Who's to say you're telling the truth, and who's to say they're telling the truth? They're saying you're censoring. You're saying you're this. It's like a fucking school. It's like a playground. What needed to happen was we need to roll up our fucking sleeves and really be passionate about the Bitcoin we do have, instead of fucking branching off. And now anyone can do this. Like, it's not open game for Bitcoin. Anyone can fucking do this. Anytime there's any kind of slowness, it's like, oh, well, guess what? We're going to branch and make Bitcoin thrash, and it's going to be the greatest. And then, you know, pretty soon it's just going to be a clown show. And each one of those just takes a little bit of share. I mean, Bitcoin took a fuck ton of share, right? Like, look at this. And the argument that, oh, well, it's the third coin. It's like, well, of course it's the fucking third coin, because everyone that held the #1 coin got this coin. And guess what? A lot of people don't even know how to get rid of it. I am actually pissed. I really wish I would have just dumped it day one, and it wouldn't have made a difference. I feel finagled. It's just shitty, because it's like, when you hold on to something, it raises its value. So the fact that everyone had all this Bitcoin Cash locked up because A, they either didn't know how to split it, or B, it was just a hassle doing so, or C, just having to wait. It made the price, the price needed to drop to zero for this thing to fade out of oblivion. But because all the people were holding, because A, they really couldn't have, then it went up in value. And then that got into some people's minds, and they were like thinking, oh, what if it goes, I think I might just hold. And that was when the curse happened. And now we have Bitcoin Cash. The only shot we had at killing that was dumping it. And the best way to do it was just to have your Bitcoin on an exchange, and they would have fucking done it for you, split it for you, and then sell it. Yeah, I mean, everyone said keeping cold storage wallet. It sucks, because that's kind of why we're in a situation we're in now. I mean, I don't advocate keeping large sums of money on an exchange ever, especially during a big event like that. But that is what fucked us in the end, was everyone having it locked up in cold storage. And a lot of people, dude, I have a fucking lot of Bitcoin Cash, and I'm still kind of anxious about importing it into this fucking Bitcoin Classic wallet that looks all fucking janky. And I've read on the internet that, you know, it may not be 100% secure. Dude, that's fucking cute when you're fucking with a few Bitcoins, dude. But when you're fucking with something that's gonna, your life, you know, that's fucking serious, man. I'm not trying to fuck around and import my fucking private keys into some bullshit ass wallet, and God knows what happens. Like, yeah, I know, I saw people have done it successfully, but you know, it's a little different, that's all. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of people probably in that same situation who weren't in a rush because A, they wanted to protect their Bitcoin. It's not an open market when you say that shit, man. It's like you fucking held a gun to Bitcoin's head, and then you said basically like, you have to hold Bitcoin Cash because you can't even move your Bitcoin on this day, or you might fucking lose it. And then all of these scam wallets popped up where it's like, oh, get your free Bitcoin Cash. It was just such a clusterfuck. It was terrible. This is war, though, right? Like, we can't cry over spilt milk. I'm not gonna say the one thing Bitcoin, and one more thing about the big blocks. I don't care what anybody says. The big blocks could only last so long. Visa, MasterCard do what, like 30,000 transactions a second. We need it doesn't matter. We're like 3 transactions a second. So just do the math. How big would the fucking blocks have to get? It's impossible. You need something to scale the solution. And it's better. It should have been done a long time ago, but it's better now than when we really are mainstream. So, you know, I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say. Like, I'm going to pretty much, I think it's almost impossible for this Bitcoin to become centralized, because I don't think a couple of nerds at the top are gonna fucking be Genghis Khan and just run shit and say, guess what? We do whatever. No, man, like it's a community. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. I've done the research. I know, like, these dudes have names. You can find out who they are. These people they're in the spotlight. There's nothing, they don't control a large portion of the Bitcoin. A lot of them don't even have Bitcoin. They're just enthusiastic about decentralization. And yeah, and Bitcoin Cash is like, oh, well, we're Bitcoin users from the beginning. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. But that's not fucking enough. That's not enough for me to shit on Bitcoin like you did. It's not enough for me. That's cute. Good for you. But that's not enough. These guys have been proven they're the best of the best, voted in by their peers. They're the best. They wouldn't be in there if they were shit. And yeah, some of them are fucking with their weird little mindsets. But guess what? Things are going as planned. SegWit, the blocks will be increased. That's pretty much the consensus. I would bet on it, right? So I'm just saying that the whole Bitcoin Cash, and I mean, because basically there's a lot more information out there if you just search. There's a lot of misinformation. And it's funny because you're going to watch a lot of videos and you're going to have to take it with a grain of salt because you're going to know which videos you watch where you're going to get the real information. And why do I talk about that above everything? Because Bitcoin is obviously the most important, guys. Like, this is the most important update. Just kind of understanding what Bitcoin Cash is and Bitcoin. I'm 100% against Bitcoin Cash now. Because no matter what, you know what's going to be fucking stupid and shitty? If Bitcoin Cash took over and then down the road they had to put in SegWit. Because the block size wouldn't, it's like, well, fuck, we need an off-scaling solution. Right? Well, I mean, how fucking pathetic would that be? Because that's what would have to happen, right? What if Bitcoin just moved up to $1 trillion and we needed at least 10,000 transactions a second? Because, dude, we're not going to become mainstream adopted without the Lightning Network. We're not going to become, that's the whole point, to make microtransactions, to make it fast and cheap. Like, we're not going to be the best of the best. We're not going to, retail stores won't pick you up if there's a chance that your transaction won't go through, and B, unpredictable. And yeah, I know Bitcoin's like that now. I understand that. And it should have been done a long time ago. I agree with Bitcoin Cash and all of those things, but I didn't think it was to the point where it was like, okay, it's time to take my ball and go home, especially right before SegWit happened. Like, we could have waited and seen what happened. Why do it now? Why not have done it fucking, last year? I don't know. It just seems like this was building for some time, and now out of nowhere, when the consensus was, okay, let's put in SegWit and let's see what happens. Out of nowhere, right before that, you fucking break from it brutally. Now you have the SegWit in question. Was the absolute worst timing. It was the best timing if you want to make a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. It was the absolute best fucking timing if you wanted to make some money. Was it the best timing for the health of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? No, Bitcoin Cash shat on that. I know the market fluttered up greatly, but you know why? That's because they saw the fork. That was going to happen regardless. Who knows what this would be if Bitcoin didn't fork and everything was perfect and worked out well. Who knows what this would have been, right? So the only reason was because people were afraid, because there was a lot of FUD going around with that fork. A lot of people, it drove the market to its knees. It drove it down to 60 billion on the midst of a big run. We would have been at 150 a long time ago. We were rampaging toward it. The only reason we stopped was because of the fork bullshit. And I put a ceiling on it and just shat on everything. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm always, dude, like I said, I'm always wrong. I'm always open to being proved wrong. I'm always open to learning new information. But it's kind of hard for me to see a good argument for Bitcoin Cash at the timing it happened, when, how it happened. It was just brute force. And I just thought, like, hey man, what if they do raise the block size to 2 megablocks and SegWit works and the Lightning Network works and Bitcoin's fast and everything's good? What then, Bitcoin Cash? You can't take your fucking ball back. Like, you already took it, right? You already fucked up the game. You can't go back in time. So now you just have this ass stain right here. Even if this one does good, you still have this fucking Bitcoin Cash bullshit, just like Ethereum Classic. It's all it fucking is, man. And good luck keeping up. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I hope Bitcoin wakes up, uses this as like, hey, a kick in the ass. And, because if I was a fucking programmer and this happened on my turf, You know how pissed I would be? I'd want to make Bitcoin the best fucking coin I've ever seen. It's the same shit with No Limit Coin. When people were doubting it, and people were doubting me that I could get it to a penny. People were doubting me I could get to 5 cents, and like it just pissed me off on the inside. It's like, man, dude, I want $100 No Limit Coin. I want to stunt on people, and this is what needs to happen with Bitcoin. We need to use this as fuel, basically. Because I don't give a fuck. I look most of Bitcoin term. I don't like most of them. You know, I got love for them. I don't like most of them though. Some of them seem like a couple douchebags. Some of them are kind of prissy, kind of, you know, up their own ass. But basically, you know, it's like, dude, get the fucking job done, man. We don't gotta like each other. People don't gotta like you. Just get the fucking job done and don't be a sleazeball. You know, Bitcoin's the perfect definition of life, man. You're given this free life. You're given this life where you didn't expect it, you didn't ask for it, you just got it, right? And then as soon as you get it, you start to get greedy with it, right? You start to take things for your life, right? Because it's my life, and I earned this, and I'm this, and I'm that. And it's like, dude, you're not, what do you mean? You got that for free, man. It's like you got a fucking free car for your birthday, and then you won't even give your homeboy who bought the car for you a ride. That's how people act with life. Think of that. You got a free car, and you got so greedy you wouldn't drive your homeboy who bought you the car down the road. That's what people are with their life. They got this free fucking life, and here they are stealing, fucking trying to take. Like, dude, look at Bitcoin. It's like people trying to grab it, making their own, control it. It's like, dude, it was fucking free. It was given to us. And now these fucking people are trying to control it, just like they do with everything in life. It's just, it's disgusting and it's pathetic. It's like, that's not power. That's fucking so pathetic. In the eyes of a true gangster, in the eyes of a true G, in the eyes of someone who's real, that's just pathetic and squirmy and desperate. And if it had an odor, it would smell like baby vomit mixed with shit, because it's just absolutely atrocious, that kind of mindset, that greed, that need to control, because you're so fucking vulnerable on your insides that you're scared. You're scared. That's all it is. When you need control, it means you fucking feel out of control on the inside. That's all that means. So the people who need the least control in life feel the freest and the most at peace, because you know what it is. You're going with the flow. You know you can't control a bitch ass thing anyway. I mean, oh, I'm controlling this big 5 fortune company, and a fucking comet shits on your fucking house and you die. Like, I mean, you have no control, guys. No one has any control. We just have the illusion of it. Just because you got the right of way doesn't mean you control shit. Anything at any time could happen. And that's how I live. People have been asking me a bunch about 10x and all these. Like, dude, I'm sure these cards. There's just so many good coins out there. I'm not trying to I just think there's gonna be a lot of competition for 10x. I'm looking at the things that a lot of people are overlooking. Man, you're talking about, like I said, like EOS. I got me into Binance coin, Vitalik from Ethereum. Holler at Melon Drakes. He broke it down for me. He's tired of my fucking bitch ass mispronouncing dude's name. And the funny thing was, dude, that was rare. I said that out of nowhere because I knew I was going to forget it. Because anytime I'm on the spot to pronounce a name, I'm going to fuck it up. So, like, if that came up, I would have been like Victorlin or whatever the fuck I was saying in other videos. But, dude, he's a fucking gangster, and he deserves to have his damn name pronounced right. Vitalik. That sounds fucking gangster, too. Vitalik. Sounds like an X-Man or... No, it sounds like somebody from Mortal Kombat, actually. Oh yeah, don't forget about your Stellar Lumens. You get free Stellar Lumens airdropped, and you get free Bite Ball, free Bite Ball. Yeah, I learned that the other night in that debate with Roger and Richard. Basically, Bite Ball, and is the cool thing about it is this is kind of a way that Bitcoin Cash should have done it. Was instead of causing a hard fork, if you want to create your own coin, your own vision, then you could have just airdropped it, which means there's no mining. The way this is given out is to Bitcoin holders. They give out 98% or some shit, I think, to people who own Bitcoin. All you have to do is be able to prove it with your thing. You go to the website, and it's actually going to show you how to get it, and it's really cool. So you get free Bite Ball, and you get free Stellar Lumens. Now the Stellar Lumens is in a few days, and yeah, it basically tells you. Yeah, see? For every 16 gig, you get 0.1. So you get 1 million bytes. Yeah, okay. So I mean, you know, hey, whatever, right? It's free, and you can get it if you've had Bitcoin for the last few months. All you have to do is prove it. Same with Stellar Lumens. But yeah, and it's just there's a lot of interesting things with this, because I've learned a lot just because, dude, all I do now is just like I love listening to just people talk about cryptocurrencies. Doesn't really even matter who they are. I just like to hear the perception, because never fucking always be humble, man. You have to understand, like, you know how much you're gonna learn when you have your confidence in the sky, meaning no matter what, you're fucking confident, yet you have your vision, your where you are, like, from a mindset down on the ground, meaning you look up to everybody. Guilty or innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm always listening to somebody with an open ear, trying to say, okay, well, I'm going to learn something, right? And you'll be surprised. Man, there's a lot of coins that just aren't really. What is up with Populous too? Is Populous going down? Okay, so it's starting to go. Populuses have been some. Man, I'm kind of angry because I've been missing it because the swings have been quite outrageous. This thing has been just going up and down, and usually, obviously, that's a good time to make some money. But man, this thing has been up well over 7, and then, you know, random ass dump. That's what's just so crazy, man. Like, you just don't see this anywhere else. You don't see this anywhere else. Why would that human being look at how far he dropped the price? I mean, you know, it's just like, it's going for $5 and then you dump it all the way down to what? 270? So it's funny. It kind of gives me like a brain aneurysm sometimes when I see this, just because it's like, how can something people be buying right now? And it's on and up. Look, it was on and up. It was on and up. People were buying, and then this guy's like, hey, I have PPT, and he just throws it all up in the air, and everybody's like, free PPT, and it just bounces back, and then people are like, what was that guy? He's like, I don't know. And then look what it does, because you caused that dump. It brought the price down after that, because people saw what happened, and they say, well, maybe he'll do it again. So people fucking stop buying it, and they start setting lures, and then the sells start hitting those lures, and that's what brings the price down. That's when people ask me if I dump any coins, it's like, dude, I don't fucking buy coins in small amounts. I don't do that. I'm not going to go buy $1,000 worth of coin. I'm not buying cute amounts of coins. When I buy coins, I fucking swing hard now. So if I was to dump this to get this quick cash, what's going to happen to the rest of my coins? Because I couldn't dump all of my coins, because then the price would go to 0. So what the fuck would happen to the rest of my coins? They would all lose value. So not only would I be selling my coins for half off, then I hurt the rest of my supply of coins in the future. And then it takes a while to recover. You see, because that's what happens, man. People just lose buying faith. And then out of nowhere, some fucking gangster wakes up and they're like, free PPT. And then the price rallies. And then here you go. And now you can see it's on another level, because humans are very, very environment oriented. If they saw, oh man, look at that, it spiked up. Now you see the buy orders are up again, right? Because they saw that. It's the same thing when they see this. People see what they see, they react. So it is amazing how many people say pumper or dumpers. Like, dude, do you know how many fucking coins I have? I can't pump and dump. If I pumped and dumped, I'd still have 70% of my goddamn coins left. That's not a pump and dump. That means I just destroyed 70% of my coins for nothing, gave them away basically, and then made the rest of my coins useless. So when I get comments about pump and dumpers, I'm going to call you a broke ass mindset, because you can pump and dump your 1,000 little bitch ass coins that you think is a big deal, dude. This is, you know, this is another level shit. You're ignorant when you're talking, when you're making those comments about me or anyone who is a serious trader talking about pump and dumps, because I'm not messing. I have too many coins to pump and dump. I know that's fucking baller sounding, but it is. It's the truth, right? There's too many coins. I couldn't pump and dump. It wouldn't make any sense. I'd be shooting myself in the foot several times, and then I'd shoot myself in the knee. I mean, that's how bad that would be. But you know, you see it every day with coins, all the time. You see people who are just impatient. My thing is, why did you invest into the thing if you needed money this badly? If you needed money to sell it for half off, why did you invest anyway? Because, you know, you probably sold some of this for a loss. Probably saw like some kind of shiny new coin. He's like, oh, I need to get that, and just dumps all of this and then jumps onto the next one. And then guess what happens on the next coin? Another new coins come out. You're gonna see another booty crack in the fucking in the graph. I mean, oh, that is just sad. That's pathetic. But it's glorious, man, because like I need to have my lure game set still, because guess what? I would have been that dude that had the lure, you know, way down here. People are like, dude, you're insane. Look at that asshole trying to buy it for so cheap. Look at what we're paying for it. What the fucking asshole? Look at this. Oh, it's going up. And then out of nowhere, yay, I get all the PPT. I got way more PPT than they did in the course of here. So during the course of all this collecting they were doing, I got about 3 times more PPT during this dump. If I was to have bought during there, but you know, I haven't been paying attention to it. Sad though, because it's really, I mean, oh man, people want to say how you make money, man. If you're still in the lure setting, spearfishing mode, man, catching the dumps. That's what life's all about, catching the dumps, guys. It's just, that's where all the money's at. You were going, man, do you guys remember the basic attention token dumps? I was getting it for like 5 cents. Just stupid dumps that made no sense. People in the No Limit Slack remember that day. It was like a week where people from the ICO, they were just dumping, and it was just so brutal. It was just like crazy dumps. It'd be like 10 cents and they dump all the way to 5, and they just kept doing it until the price was on its knees. And I mean, that's the thing, like when you dump, no one's going to want to buy because they're going to want to set lures. When you don't dump, that causes people to buy because then they're like, well, my lures aren't hitting and the price keeps going up. So now I get the FOMO. But like I said, I don't care. You do what you do with your money. You can dump all day long. That's fine. I never bought a coin because of the hodlers. I give a fuck about the hodlers. You can hodl. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Very bad game plan to trust strangers. I'm sorry. It just is. People are going to dump, man. It doesn't matter. And it's not your right to tell them what to do. It's a game. It's a game of war. If dumping is what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. It's not evil. Who cares, right? I mean, it's a game of war. I say war because when they dump, it hurts your portfolio. But that's a part of entering the game, part of entering the war. You have to, you know, you're not going to get through it without some scrapes. And that's why if you're constantly focused on the daily score, dude, it's just going to trip you out. You're just going to go insane because that's what happens. Anytime there's a new high, people look at what happened to Neo, right? Neo would be $100, but people always have to sell on the high. They always sell on a high, and I mean, you just saw it, right? You can see it. Look, once upon a time, you know, No Limit Coin went from 0.001 to 0.01. And then it went all the way back down to 0.07, right? And then one time it went from 0.02 all the way up to 0.07. Then it went all the way back down to 0.03, right? And then that was during the dip. It went back up to 5, just kind of hovered. And then one time it went from 0.4 all the way up to 25 cents. Wait, no, all the way up to basically 30 cents. Then it went all the way back down to 15 cents, right? Then it kind of just stood there for a little bit. Then it went down to 15 cents and it went all the way up to 36 cents, right? And now, you know, it's just kind of like, that's any coin, guys. Anytime there's a new high, people are going to, you know, but if you look at this new high compared to this one, and if you kind of see what happened, right here, you see this, because this was a new high. I know it doesn't look that much, but going from 3 cents to 9 cents to 11 cents, that's 4x. That's a big gain, right? That's notable. It's like 200-300% in the category. If you see 100%, you think, oh wow, I should have bought that coin. But guess what happened? It just went all the way up, and then it never came back down to that 9 cents, right? That little oof. You see where it's happening right here? That little oof. It never went back down to this little oof right here. It just went down but it went so high, but then it went down to 15, and then it, you know, kind of just people are like boom, 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 and then here we are. And no, you know, the new UI is about to be unleashed. It's fucking funny. I feel so good. I feel like Santa Claus now. Now I know what Santa Claus feels like, because I get to look at the little elves in the back, tinkering, making the UI, making everything real perfect. And I'm looking at all the people who are saying things that are nice, and like, oh, Dan's gonna make a real nice UI, and it's gonna be like NFL Eve, right before the big UI launch. and I'm gonna let all the good children know about the new UI launch. And one day they're just gonna wake up and they're gonna go and look under the Christmas tree, and there's gonna be a big brand new motherfucking UI, and they're gonna be like, wow, that is shiny, that is nice, I am in love. And people love shiny things. You know what's funny? I've been registering on the soccer tournament, the beta site. It kind of, you know what? I was like, man, there's a lot of hate on this beta site, but not really, man, because the devs have done a really good job. Like it was pretty seamless for me. I knew it needs a new UI, of course, and that's happening. But you know, just the beta is actually pretty fucking good right now for No Limit Coin. I mean, I'm hard pressed to find another beta that's better than a working condition right now. Like ONG, yeah, but I mean, they've had a polished product for a long time now. Before crypto, you know, they had a product before crypto. So this was born in the crypto thing. So you know, I just think that we've been rapidly excelling, and of all the coins, you're fucking around with one that has a world market for sports, and sports is the biggest thing in the world. Look at Mayweather tonight. Look how many views that's going to get, the Mayweather McGregor fight. I'm going to be going to my homeboys. We're going to be watching on a big screen. It's going to be a good, fun day. You're not going to be able to get in contact with me past 5 p.m. D-Hands is going to be having a few beers. Going to be relaxing, enjoying the fight. But on that note, I'm going to kill it here. Cheers. Peace.